Welcome, friends, to Dog Grooming Unleashed. We are Leigh and Michelle Caluneo. Our mission is to create a safe, welcoming space for dog groomers and pet lovers to come together to learn, laugh, and feel supported. So join us as we build a community where pet parents and groomers can come together. We also want to help groomers grow in their skills, share their struggles, and feel connected to others in the industry. So get ready to learn and laugh. We're so excited to have you here. Welcome to episode 6.
We're keeping that.
Welcome to episode 6, how to have a successful dog grooming business. Nailed it.
This is a fun one. You know why?
Yes.
Both of us have successful dog grooming businesses, and there's methods to that madness for sure. We're going to share it with you right here today. If you're a beginner, you're really going to want to listen.
It's not reading aloud. That's not a method to the madness because I'm not good at that.
Yeah. But I mean, it even goes for, a lot of people that are running businesses, Michelle, reach out to me through emails and want to have a coaching call to say, what am I doing wrong? I need to get my business back on track. And I love helping people like that because I have 1,000 success procedures to share with them. And I'm so happy when they reach out. So we're going to dump that in your laps today, guys. Are you ready, set, go? Michelle?
Ready, set, go. My number one is communication with your client. That is just the ridiculously important, down to how you text. I think I start every text message with, hey there, with like an exclamation point. And I think if you are really dry with how you text your customers, a lot of us are just texting to make appointments and things like that. A lot of things can be misinterpreted. A lot of people post their text messages on the groomers groups of like a conversation, and you can see where it's going south.
Yeah.
In those messages. So
probably not intentionally, but yes.
It's so important too, because people can get defensive really fast. Mm-hmm. So even if I'm correcting somebody or not agreeing with somebody, I think ending it with no worries or, a smiley face or something like that.
I understand. I know. It's okay.
Yeah. I think communication with your customers is really important. We're talking about something very serious, which is their dog or their cat, if you're a cat groomer, and it's a big deal to them. And so it's really important that we communicate well with them. If you're not communicating well with your customers and your staff, if you have staff, then you're gonna have problems. So I think the number one is communication. One of the number ones. There's a lot of really important.
It's up there. It's up there. I got some number ones too, girlfriend. You're not taking my number ones.
All right, hey girl. I'm glad I didn't pick the same one as you this time.
Well, one thing that's lower on my list, so I'm just going to blurt it out right now because you mentioned about communication, and that goes for communication when the dog is brought in. Okay, so allow at least 5 minutes to communicate with the owner. Say, what do you have in mind for Fluffy today? And they'll tell you, well, I don't like her ears getting in her food. And you know what that means. That means shorten those ears up a little bit, the length of the ears. As you're communicating in those 5 minutes, take the time to get down to Fluffy. Fluffy will come to you. Let her come on her own. Mm-hmm. And she'll come to you. A new pet, Fluffy, as you're talking to the owner, you're looking for fleas. You're looking for bats. You're looking for anything that you need to tell the client right now upon check-in. I'm feeling some things that I'm going to have to deal with that I weren't part of this grooming session. And I allowed an hour and a half for Fluffy, and she's completely matted, or maybe she's not completely matted because you saw her 6 weeks ago, but maybe her tail and her ears are really bad this time. Yeah. And she'll say, she's been scratching that ear, and that is going to make it matte. That's your opportunity to say, I may have to take the hair off the ears this time. We're going to have to grow it back out. And you're preparing them mentally for not coming back and picking her up and seeing that you had to shave her ears.
Yes.
They already told her you're going to do that. And if she says, I don't want that done, and I would say, well, I know my capabilities. I know how to demat dogs, but I can tell you I cannot do this without hurting her, and therefore I'm not going to do it. And then when you put it to them that way, so I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Communication is key, like Michelle said. So part of that, on that note, communication is key for me in my grooming software that I've used for years. I've recently upgraded to a new one that's even better because it's cloud-based, and that is PetSched. That sends all the automatic reminders. Your no-shows are costing you money.
Yeah.
You can't have them. And sometimes, something happened that morning that's interrupting. The client can't get the dog there. And yes, it does happen, but not always. Sometimes
it should be rare.
It's they forget or whatever, but they won't forget if you're using grooming software and it's constantly running your business while you're asleep.
Right.
So use grooming software. It's worth the money. If it costs you $50 a month, one no show is going to cost you more than that. So
Yeah.
look at it that way. It also helps you track your business, your reports, your taxes, your sales tax, when's the last time these dogs have been in. It tracks everything. So use it. One of the biggest things for me is following the same set of procedures during every dog grooming session, every dog. And people say, well, my golden retrievers don't get a haircut. No, they don't. You still follow the same procedures. When you get to the step of clipper work, the only thing you're doing is shaving pads. That's
Yeah.
it. So then you do the clipper work, you put the clipper down, you move to the next step, which is scissor work. Following the same step of procedures, and that goes for pre-brushing, shampoo, conditioner, when to clean the ears, when to trim the nails, blow dry, one final brush after you blow dry. That's part of the steps. I have a set of procedures that I give away to people for free that's on my YouTube channel and many videos, and I made it for them. But it's how I ran my business. Even with at many times I had assistants that I trained. I think I've had probably 6 assistants over the years. I do prefer to work alone, though. I will say that I want to be one on one with the dogs. It's a little more
Yeah.
hopping when I have assistants, but sometimes we have to do that. And at the time, I
Yeah.
did have to do
I
it.
like it. I like one-on-one too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's one of my biggest things for running a successful dog grooming business is to follow the same set of procedures with every dog you groom, down to when you trim the nails, when you clean the ears, everything. And it becomes a routine in your head. You don't
Right.
have to think about what you're doing next. And guess what happens next? You actually become a little faster at dog grooming because you have dialed in your procedures. So
Yep.
it's a win-win. So that's my biggest one is following the
Mm.
same set of procedures.
I agree because that's working smarter, not harder. If you're
Mhm.
bouncing all around,
Mm.
I know when I forget to clean those ears before I get them in the tub, and then I'm like, and then I get ear cleaner, maybe someplace I don't want to get it. I mean, just I try to kind of go through the motions too of the same, what works
Then
for
you
me,
won't
what I
forget a step. And that's one of the biggest
exactly.
reasons, Michelle, is you don't forget a step. And you don't need
Yes.
to clean the ears after the dog is dried and groomed. Now I've
Yes.
got to put wet ear cleaning solution in the ear. Now
After
my
you just,
beautiful
yeah.
groom just looks like she got too close to the faucet on her way out.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So little things like that, for
Yeah.
sure.
What else you got for running a successful dog grooming business, Michelle?
I think taking your time. I think that everybody, and I've been seeing a lot more of this lately too. Everybody wants to learn how to be faster, but that comes with what you're talking about. Getting kind of in your groove and your procedures and how you do things. We all want to be
Mhm.
faster. I think I really thought I was going to be way faster when I started. I just thought I was really slow. Sometimes a doodle is going to take you 2.5 to 3 hours, and that's
Most of
just
the time it is going to.
yep, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I have some, like, doodles that come in that are, like, lighter, they don't have as thick fur,
Yeah, sure.
and I can blow dry them pretty fast. I can get them
And
blow
you know
dried.
that because you worked with them before, but you didn't know it the
Yes.
first time you worked with them. So now you know how to schedule them. That's a 2 hour.
Yes. Scheduling is
Yeah.
huge too.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing on how to be successful. If you're scheduling wrong, whether you're overbooking, because if you're overbooking, you're gonna get a little stressed and you're gonna send out haircuts that aren't gonna be as nice.
And that's when accidents happen too, because you're rushing.
Yep,
So
it's
how do you avoid bad scheduling because it's difficult? Let's look at a beginner groomer. The beginner groomer may say, "Look, most dogs I get in, I don't know. I never groomed them before. I don't
yes,
know how big they are. I don't know how thick their coat is." It's like, okay, so as a beginner, you always schedule extra time with these
yes,
dogs that you're grooming for the first time. Once you groom them, you know what's involved. This is a must. Bring it in, guys. After you groom a dog for the first time, and that's going to be most every dog as a beginner, right? Well, you don't just sit and wait for that client. And thanks a lot. I'll see you. Call me if you need me. No, sir.
no, yeah,
You get that dog on your schedule. You say, I want to be your groomer, but I need you to reschedule upon checkout, or I
yeah,
can't guarantee any appointments. And they'll say, but that's fine. I'll just call you. And you say to them, I'm not going to guarantee you an appointment. I need to see this dog in 6 weeks. That's 6 to 8 weeks, guys, for any dog. It doesn't need to go any further than that ever. You make sure they reschedule because that's how you start to tighten up your schedule. And it also makes you aware of what's coming in because you already groomed the dog and now
Yeah.
you've got them rebooked. So I
And they
know
might
that's
like
a,
Fridays and you want to make sure they can get a Friday.
yeah.
I booked
And
6 months in advance. So
all
most of my
these
customers,
appointments. I'll
yeah.
give you 5 appointments. Absolutely do it. And if you have grooming software, again, that's just a click of the button, you
And
know?
sell yourself. It's okay to be like, "Well, I'm really busy." And then they'll be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay." Because if you're just like, "Have a nice day," and then they call you 3 months later. So, set your standards high. That allows them to know that what you
But you
expect
have
from them.
boundaries that they need to
Yes.
respect. You have expectations.
And boundaries are huge too, because they can't call you and be like, "Hey, do you got anything tomorrow at 5 o'clock?" Like,
No,
that's not how this works either. And my customers all know that now too. But sometimes when you're starting out and you're new, you don't really know that,
you don't know.
so it's
You don't like to say no. You don't like to do this. So you overwork yourself at the expense of yourself and your family, is what you do. And it's not fair to you. And
yeah.
again, if you're using grooming software, you don't even have to talk to these people.
Yeah, it's true.
You send them a link.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I said it, Cash. I
hi,
said it. There you
Cash.
go.
I'm a big fan too of meeting them before. So I always tell people, feel free to stop by my shop. You want to stop
Yeah, yeah.
by.
I'm cleaning up between 4:30 and 5
Yep.
every day. Come on in and meet me or
And meet
whatever.
me. And
Yeah.
a lot of times that makes people feel comfortable. Social media has been really cool for me for this because a lot of people feel like they already know me. And so when they do come in, I just took on a new Scottish Terrier because who could turn
I
away a
saw
Scottish
that
Terrier?
on a
Oh my gosh,
video.
he's so cute. And
Yeah.
so and she followed me and knew me from social media. And so a lot of times these people drive all this way. And that's cool for me. So I've already done the work of almost like selling myself, whether you want to do it through your Facebook group or your Instagram. I mean, but do that. Put yourself out there. Put pictures of your grooms out there. When I first started, that was the main thing. I was like, I don't think I'm going to do Google. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to just do an Instagram, and I'm
Mhm.
going to take pictures
For
of
my
grooms
business.
and for my business and try to just market for free. And it grew into this. And so it really made a huge difference. People want to see your grooms. And now that I make videos and I mean, the terrier was falling asleep while I was blow drying him. Like, people love that. They want to see that. They want to see us working with their animals and being
That helps them
compassionate.
trust you too because they
Yes.
can literally see you working with dogs.
Yeah. I
They
know
get
not
to
everybody
feel what you're
wants to do
giving.
social media, but if you can, that's probably one of my good tips for having a successful business.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
People actually expect it these days. Clients do. They
Yeah.
expect, where can I follow you? I'd like to, they want to see your work. They know they can't be a fly on the wall. They can't
Mhm.
be there when you're grooming. So have an avenue for them to actually see you. Even if you don't talk in these videos, just do a 30-second clip, set a camera up when you're trimming the pattern set on a
Yeah.
schnauzer and you interacting with the dog. Pretend the camera's not there. You can do that on social media. Actually, that's the kind of stuff that probably does go viral because people say, "Oh,
Right.
love that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. So then you get paid too for it. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is a good idea. Definitely a good idea to have a
Peop
social page for your business.
Yes. People love before and after photos. Those are always a good thing to put out there. So if you feel like your business is struggling a little bit, that's a great tip. And if you don't have a big social media presence, because I'll tell you what, the people that reach out to me and ask me for help, they don't have a social media presence. And so
Yeah.
if and yet, and I'm not saying you don't got to go get 20,000 followers. I'm saying
No.
put a bunch of, be consistent, or even drop 30 photos in one day if you want. So when they
Mhm.
scroll, there's something out there, but put a few good hours into your social media, maybe once a week, even just to get something out there to have people refer to that, because that's really a big thing that helped me grow
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
tremendously.
I didn't have that. Or didn't exist when
Yeah.
my business grew because groomers have just always been in demand, and I had a good reputation out of the gate. So
Yes.
keep your reputation, in a good place is very important. One of the other things that I wanted to share with people is very important here for running a successful dog grooming business. And I ran one for over 20 years. You know, we start out, you don't have a lot of money. I get it. But you realize that that nice, large stainless steel tub that costs $4,000 is going to benefit you greatly in your grooming sessions. You realize that that electric table that goes up and down and has a very large working surface is going to benefit you and the dogs you groom. You realize that the Prima bathing system, that was one of my first major upgrades. It was like $1,400
Yeah.
18 years ago. I wanted it. I could see the value it would bring to my grooming sessions, and it did. And to this day, I still use a Prima bathing system. It was one of the best investments. People say, how do I get there? I'm going to tell you how you get to that success, that you can upgrade to these expensive things. You don't go out there and buy 14,000 gallons of shampoo and conditioner because you want to try them all. You don't
Yeah.
need to try them all. You pick a good shampoo and conditioner and you run with that across
Yeah.
all breeds. People will say, "Oh, even on a shedding breed?" Absolutely. If it's a good shampoo and conditioner, a conditioner that rinses well from the coat and
Yes.
definitely puts the moisture back into the skin, then you run with that across the board. This is pet grooming.
Yeah.
Okay, they used to use Dawn dish soap. We don't do that anymore.
Oh,
We use good product. But having stacks and stacks of $50 to $60 shampoos that you're you forget you have after a while. That money, you threw it away.
you
You
know, lose money
actually
that
threw it away.
way.
You have 40 brushes because a new brush came out and you feel like you got to try it. Well, how much do you have invested in brushes? Well, if you add it up, do the math. Well, I'll be gosh darn, I have $500 invested in brushes. So you look at all this money you wasted and you said, I could have already bought a Prima bathing system, which cuts down on my washing time, cuts down on my drying time because it rinses so well from the coat, and my dogs are cleaner
Yeah.
and I'm getting better finishes. I mean, it's just use your common sense, guys. Don't overbuy. Don't buy everything just because you want it. I know we want all of it, but use your key core grooming tools and equipment to get you to the next step, to save some cash. Save $200 at the end of every month. Okay, by the end of the year, you go, you buy the Prima bathing system. Or maybe it's the electric table that you really need because you do a lot of large dogs. You need that.
You
So,
need
what's
those
the
things.
plan for you to get it? You
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
That's important.
And all those great like shampoos, they're going to lead to, which is my next point, is beautiful grooms. Like, really you want to make sure that your grooms are the best they can be. And sometimes dogs are going to be difficult. Like there is dogs I'm going to send out sometimes where they look
It's
like
not a
dog.
perfect groom. Yeah.
No, and you're like I'm like, sorry, here's your dog. They look like crap. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to send out a groom that looks like that.
I did my best with your
You did
dancing
your
dog.
best,
Yeah.
but I take a lot of pride in what I'm doing, and I still have so much room to grow too. Like, I mean,
We
so
always will.
I love when I can get everything's combed up beautifully and I've scissored beautifully and the face looks amazing. And then I take that photo and it looks amazing. And I talk about photos all the time. I'm just a huge advocate for photos. I had one pop up today, this very, very aggressive little schnauzer mix that I grew mobile. And it was like the first, and I was a brand new groomer. And I mean, I wasn't that bad though. I was like, I looked at it, I was like, you know what? That wasn't awful. His prep work could have been better because I didn't know as much about prep work as I do now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I had to learn that the hard way too.
yeah.
Why is this when I comb it, is the hair sticking together? Well,
Yep.
you didn't rinse the dog well, or you didn't get him clean enough.
And customers need to understand that. Like if your
Mhm.
dog comes in and it's been 2 hours and all I've done is washed and bathed them, that's because that's how long it takes to
And
do.
that's a
That's
huge
why
part of the groom. It's
it's
necessary.
yes, and that's why it costs so much because I shampooed them twice and I really had to scrub their feet, those doodle
Mhm.
feet or whatever, and so that you really work that shampoo in really good. I mean, my dogs are squeaky, squeaky clean when they leave my tub because I
That's the
know
only
how,
way to get precise clipper and scissor work. That's the only
yes,
way to
it's
have
the
a
only way.
beautifully prepped dog. And however long it takes is however long it takes till that dog is prepped. And condition every dog always. It actually speeds up the drying process. People say it doesn't. It does. Choose a good conditioner and run with it across the board, no matter what breed it is. Use that conditioner on all dogs if you find one you like that
Yeah.
that hydrates well and that rinses quickly from the coat. That's important in a conditioner. If you're rinsing
And
and
it's good
rinsing,
for their skin too. Like,
yeah.
you want to, sometimes the shampoo can dry them out a little bit. So a good
Uh-huh.
conditioner is going to go ahead and replenish that. And so
That's
you
why
want the
you
dog,
have to do it.
yeah, you want the dog to feel good
Hmm.
when they're done with their groom too. You don't want them to be on the floor just itching. Like, I mean, some of them do that anyways, but you want to know that
Well,
you did your part.
I think if you are only shampooing dogs as a professional, you're actually not setting you or the dog up for success. If you're only shampooing, it's actually going to be harder to brush out. It's going to tangle a little bit during the blow dry process if you're not conditioning, and you're actually going to slow down your drying process because the coat is not balanced.
Yes.
Not. So it's a myth to
Yeah.
not condition because it's an extra step. No, you have to condition. Conditioner and shampoo both do two different things, very different things. And if you only shampoo, all you did was strip the dirt and grime from the coat. That's all you've done. You
Yeah.
cleaned it, you stripped it, you left the coat and the skin vulnerable. So you have
Yes.
to condition.
Yep, I totally agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Well, I think building your brand and sticking to your values too. So when it comes to what you expect from your business and what you expect whether you have staff or not, this is like set a high standard. That's really important. And so I set a high standard for what I expect from my customers, and if and also what you would expect from your staff too. I think that's huge.
Hmm.
And so if you're putting out not great grooms, then your staff isn't going to put out not great grooms either, right? So you want to make sure that everybody's going to continuing education and that everybody's continuing to learn, and
And
you're always
sharing that
moving.
with each other. You're on a
Yes.
team.
Yes, you're on a team, you're moving forward, always not backwards. And pricing I think is really important too. So when it comes to pricing, I think that if you're doing all these things and you're putting your 100% in and doing your best work and running a beautifully, smooth
A nice
business,
operation.
yes, then you should price accordingly. So don't sell yourself short. I hear some stories. I mean, you should not be
Mhm.
grooming a Shih Tzu for $45.
Right.
Absolutely not. Never, never. I mean,
Yeah, and I don't care if you have an in-home business. It doesn't matter. It's the service
no.
that you're providing.
You're
It's
providing a great service, and if you feel like you can't charge more, upgrade your shop. Go ahead and get yourself a
yeah,
new tub, get some new equipment. I've made some changes. I've upgraded my shop, and and I've had to
yeah.
up my prices a little
And
bit
I
to
have my prices. I have done that. I would send a yearly letter to my clients at the end of the year. It was usually with Christmas, along with some treats and stuff for the dogs. So
yeah.
that would be part of it. And in that letter is upgrades that I've done to the salon that provide the best grooming experience for
Yes.
pets. And I would explain what those upgrades were, how they work, what they are. They can literally go to the website, see what that actually is,
Yeah.
and say, because I want your dog to experience the best, and I make sure that I have room for upgrades in my annual budget because I want to continue to provide the best for your pet. And we're doing a 3% increase this year.
Yep. And that's okay, and you know what? They love
That's like a
you.
PS.
Yes. I love watching people be successful online, like some of my friends. I don't do you know Brittany Mack? Like, I don't know if you know Brittany
Not
Mack. So
sure.
she's on Instagram. And so I started chatting with her years ago, and she was at a salon, and then she opened a home-based shop. And I remember, talking to her about it, and I'm like, you're gonna crush it. Her grooms are gorgeous. She just does these
Hmm.
beautiful, beautiful grooms. She's such a great groomer. And, I think a year into opening her shop, she already was not accepting any new customers,
She's
just book
booked.
solid throughout the year. I mean, and she just posted the other day that she's making Christmas ornaments. She does this. She always makes Christmas
Oh,
ornaments or Christmas gifts for all of her
for
customers.
the
Like,
yeah.
that just goes to, I don't even make Christmas ornaments. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that just goes to show that
Yeah.
you're putting love into your business and you're
Hmm.
taking so much pride in what you're doing. And that goes noticed. So,
Hmm.
really, if you feel like you're really struggling, these are some great tips, just
Yeah, go on
these
Pinterest
little.
if you want to find little
Mhm.
inexpensive Christmas ideas for
Yeah.
clients, for pet clients. Go on Pinterest. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You may have to take a whole Saturday to get this done, but have
Yeah.
your girlfriends come over with some snacks and a bottle of wine and have fun doing it together.
Yes. It's just those little things. Those little things I think make a huge difference. That so, as a recap, good communication, good tools, good shampoo, getting the supplies we need, keeping our customers at a high standard and ourselves. And
Following
I
the
think
same set of steps, plan for upgrades.
yeah,
You need to
yes,
upgrade things, your equipment. You need to upgrade it and get better equipment because it will make your life easier and make you enjoy grooming, and it's easier for the pets
yes.
if they're more comfortable. That's just it.
So all those little things. So I think we crushed it. And if you have questions or if we forgot anything,
Yeah.
tell us because
We yeah, continue the conversation and
yes.
could
So
be.
comment and be like, "Hey, dummy, you forgot this." And we'll be like,
Yeah, put it in
"Oops."
a comment.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make that a future episode so we can go
Yeah.
deeper on stuff to just make sure we're still bringing you the value that you came here for.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So cuz we're learning too. We don't know everything. We know a
Podcast
lot of
and stuff.
things. We know a lot of things, but so if
Yeah.
you think of something that we're not thinking about, just go ahead and type down there and let us know. You could say nice things too that don't have anything to do about the podcast. You could be like, "Oh my god, you guys are so funny. This is so much fun. I love listening to your
You say
ridiculous
I like
accents."
Amy more than I like Michelle.
Yeah,
No,
they
that's
will. They will.
me.
Because like you'll people will come in and be like, "Who's this brunette that
No,
makes all the
they
weird
won't.
faces?"
My people are full of love.
Mine are too, I swear.
Yes. Well, Michelle, it's always great hanging out with you and our Unleashed community, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
We can't wait.
That wraps up today's episode of Dog Grooming Unleashed. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We are truly grateful to have you as part of our Unleashed community. Don't forget, we drop new episodes every Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So grab your coffee or your clippers and hang out with us again, my friend, next week. If today's conversation made you laugh, taught you something new, or just made you feel seen as a groomer or a pet enthusiast, please take a second to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. And we'd love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts, questions, or even your funniest grooming moments in the comments. We might just feature your story or question in the next episode. And we can't wait to keep learning, laughing, and growing right alongside of you. Stay kind, stay curious, and keep grooming from your heart.